Food and weight obsession can be exhausting. Losing weight, gaining weight, dieting, feeling like a failure because you missed a workout, binged, overate, or gained all the weight back. The cycle is endless and it can be maddening. But I'm here to say you can stop the mental madness. You can take back control of your food behaviors, but you have to face your fears, you have to ask for help, and make a change. I am Leslie M. Thornton, permanent weight loss coach from hpwl.co. This is Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, and I know you can make this happen. On this podcast, you will hear how to stop the mental madness, love your body, trust your food decisions so you can create a life of happiness, freedom, and inner peace. The only New Year's resolution that matters. Leslie Thornton here. Recently in my domain of where I hang out with coaches, personal development things, videos I watch, consciousness things. The talk of the town is all about New Year's resolutions. And of course, as a Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss coach, my team is asking me for lots of content to be talked about with New Year's resolutions. What's my take on it? And what do I think about it? And so that stuff will come out. And I got to admit, it feels a little like boring. But what I shared about it was authentic and I think a different perspective. And that's what my intention is for this podcast episode, whether listening live on Facebook now, welcome, or later on Apple, anywhere you can find podcasts, Spotify, etc. And yeah, so I found it a little bit boring to talk about New Year's resolutions. And when I actually just had a thought for what I was going to actually make a podcast on regarding it, I was like, there's only one New Year's resolution that matters. There's only one New Year's resolution that matters for all human beings. I'm just going to be that straight about it. I believe it's the answer to all things. Are you ready for what I'm going to say? Now, I want to give a little that it may sound a little dumb at first, but just give me a second to talk about it a little bit more and see if we can get on the same page. Because right now you might be like, Leslie, there can't be only one good New Year's resolution. Are you going to be the most judgmental human being on the planet right now and not allow and accept and appreciate other New Year's resolutions? Just hear me out. The only New Year's resolution that matters is that you master positive thinking. The only New Year's resolution that matters is that you master positive thinking. So if you are a podcast listener, you know that I have been interviewing people who I've met who have spontaneously healed or in their minds healed themselves from cancer, especially young women, young mothers. Just like people who are young and had just absolutely fantastic stories. If you have not listened to those podcasts, Johanna White and Mo, both were amazing sharing their stories. Johanna with her brain tumor and Mo with her breast cancer that was discovered in the most crazy way. And just both of the fact that how they healed, like how they took on their cancer or tumor journeys, was that they completely bombarded their minds with positive thinking, healing words, believing that they were healed, seeing their cells attacking the other cells in this positive way of becoming the army in the positive space to make it happen. And then to have results where it was like they could not identify it anymore, or there was absolutely no symptoms anymore, could not believe that this cancer had gone away. And in other stories that I've heard, many, 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 it's just so much around positive thinking and the mind. You guys have heard me talk. If you've been a podcast listener for a long time, we've been recording for almost 2 years now. 2.5 years now. Anyway, I can't remember, but there's 100+ episodes. And yeah, you've heard me talk time and time again about Dr. Joe Dispenza and all of the work that he did to find out what created spontaneous remissions. He actually has a research team. You just heard me talk with Xander Fryer on a recent podcast about how his research group has actually had meditators next to cancer cells and all these very, perfected research, situations, not just like on a couch, but like actually doing this, meditating, and the cancer cells actually go away or aren't cancer cells anymore, like whatever, they change form so that a person does not have those cells anymore as a result of meditation. And I've heard some really fascinating YouTube videos lately. I don't want to just call them YouTube videos because I've been hanging out, if you will, with who I consider the next elevation of how we get more free and how we get more peace as human beings living on this planet. I think it was just like 6 months ago, I was talking to a relatively new but great friend of mine who, we were talking about life a little bit, and I was just like, yeah, but there's something like, how great life is or something. I was like, yes. And I said, and there's just still always more, and some comment that she had back was something that she was like, yeah, more like material, more. But I was like, no, like more peace, more love, more connection, and it's like, that's what these tools that I've been being exposed to and practicing diligently every day on myself is creating for me in my life and my clients' lives that I'm teaching it to in real time, is more peace, like more happiness, more like less anxiety, just like, and building and receiving all of these amazing things that are happening, even as hard times are happening. It's just like to build during that, as you build your inner self, and just learn how to deal with hard things better. So you can spend most of and it's like the most amazing work. So a lot of them have been also talking about, first of all, New Year's resolutions, but talking about healing. And this matters to me a lot because I have a couple clients, one who's in the program, one who recently graduated, who were given life altering diagnoses, basically, a year of time, young, amazing women, and just like so valiantly showing up. So I like take it so seriously that I am equipping myself with the understanding of how to give these people the best shot in the work that I do, just focusing on mindset, focusing on positive thinking, increasing faith in life, continuing to take action forward towards your goals that matter to you. And just like the most amazing way, like enjoyable way where you can like enjoy every step of the way. These women just taking that on, and then, so wanting to know, like, okay, so these people who I see as like the next level that I'm adding now into my program, like a mad woman, because it's just like, guys, you got to have this. It's changing my life. They were talking about, and someone asked a question of like, how do I spontaneously heal myself or something like that? And the response she was given, her name is Dr. Kim DiRamo. I'm a big fan. I'm going to try to get her on the podcast. She used to be an ER doctor, and she just has the most eloquent, like good spirited way and like professional and educated way of really talking about what we're talking about here, just like increasing consciousness and increasing peace and happiness and possibility and like just success and whatever on the planet, abundance and all the good things, and how to actually consciously create this stuff. So yes, she, and then Aaron Abke, oh my God, check out the YouTube channel. And Kyle Cease, who's going to be on our podcast in not too long time in January, coming up here. Very exciting. And And we're going to keep bringing in these types of guests for you guys, because it's just like the message that needs to be shared. It's why I even started doing this work in the first place, was to have people realize that they did not need to suffer. Like that was I suffered with food, body, and weight. Hypnosis got me out of that. But then the whole world opened up to me, right? Where now I'm, giving trainings on NLP and hypnosis and how to get certified yourself. Because I just want more people on the planet to see it, because it's amazing. There's so many people already seeing it every day. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Everybody knows what hypnosis is at this point. So it's just, how to blow it up, because it's everything. Because the only New Year's resolution that matters is positive thinking. And that's essentially what's going on. So just back to the, how do I heal myself? She said, it's actually not how you heal yourself. And to all my amazing people who are working with diagnoses, like talking to you, it's not healing yourself necessarily. It's how in the now you can get yourself to be. How now can you get yourself to be? The way that God was explained by one of them was just like, I had to look it up because I've referenced it so many times. But Xander Fryer referred to it as universal juice. I think he said universe juice. That's what he said. That's a lot easier way of saying it. Theirs was a much more profound of just like everything that is, like, but it was more, anyway, don't have the words right now. That definition of whatever that is, God, universe, divine, blah, 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 universal consciousness, whatever it is, that the essence of that is love and just like space and health. That in its most natural state, like healthy is what we are. That our body knows how to be healthy. It's the blueprint of it, is that we have the download of how to be healthy. And so if we can just allow ourselves to be right where we are to a big degree, right? Like just actually just wherever you are, just completely, whether you have a diagnosis, and just be where you are now, and just let in that positive God energy, whatever you want to call it, that is how you can be restored back to health. So, more meditation, more, doing the inner work, whatever your practice is of that. I do for myself and for my clients, some reparenting and inner child work, mostly reparenting. I love having because what happens is if you have things that happen in childhood, or like just like conversations that like left bad taste in your mouth, your friend pushed you down or something as simple as that, like you don't have the words as a child to communicate that hurt, and so that energy gets stuck in your body. And if there's too much of that kind of like trauma energy in your body, and you're not actually like crying it out or feeling it or being with your emotions as they come up, then that's can be what causes inflammation and disease in the body as the last kind of flag. So it's like just doing this work is just a really great way of making sure that you're as healthy as possible, because you're taking care of your emotions, you're taking care of your mind. And like when the positive thinking becomes your normal way, like it's a kind of a choice to just like, every time that I feel a negative feeling or a negative thought or a hard thing comes in, I'm going to actually just like choose to drop that and then just focus towards like, how is this happening exactly as it should be? Like, how is this working out better than I can possibly imagine, to quote Mark Shepard, who was my first NLP trainer and hypnosis trainer. How is it working out better than I can possibly imagine? How can I sit in my anger more? How can I sit in my sadness more? How can I just like allow every single feeling to be there and not try to get away from it all the time, which by the way is what creates addiction, which is how this all dovetails into hypnosis for permanent weight loss. Because if we're learning how to sit with and be with and Be in the now as much as possible. Be in the now and be in the positive, just gratitude vibration on a regular basis. Like, be excited for life and ready to go and continuing to like pay attention to all the things. And like more and more gifts come the more that we get ourselves out of the way. Right. So going back to New Year's resolutions, the reason why this is the only one that matters is that once you master positive thinking, when it's applied to anything you want in your life, a better body, a better partner, relationship, a better career, a better financial situation, by your continuing to bring positivity to that. Just this morning, I was coaching a client and she was saying, I really want to work on my money scarcity. I'm always panicked about bills. I'm always anxious about money. And I could totally relate to her on that. I told her how last summer I, really could see with my anxiety about money that my probable, almost certain future, if I didn't do something drastically different, was that I was always going to be panicked about my finances. And I did not want that life. And if I looked back at my life, I have always found a way to pay all my bills and do all the right things. So we're not talking to the people who you're not paying your bills or doing, this is the opposite coaching. It's for people who are like always dotting every I and crossing every T, right? It's like those things always get done. We always pay our bills on time. We're in great standings with all of our, credit history or whatever. It's like we actually need to learn how to just be with the anxiety better. So every time, this is what I gave her the coaching on, you could try it on for yourself, that every time you come up with, like, you have a fear about money or not enough, which, by the way, there was a book where it said that was the biggest actual issue with the entire United States, is that we come from a culture of not enough, which I think is really fascinating. Because not enough food, and then we have that problem, and that's our New Year's resolution. Not enough money, and then that's our New Year's resolution, right? Not enough love, not enough intimacy, then that's our New Year's resolution. But what if it's all enough, right? Which again goes, how can you just be in the now so much and not need to make anything different? Like, that's the best. And then just get to watch like what is received, and like using life as just your, like, be in relationship with everything in life is just amazing. But anyway, yeah, just that power of that getting in the now, which, here's what happens is when those anxieties come up and the not enoughness. Okay. So you can say to yourself, I allow this anxiety in my body now. I allow this anger in my body now. I allow this fear in my body now. Can even do it right now. I allow this annoyance in my body now. I allow this sadness in my body now. Right. And it's like, it just like, and then normally though, when we have the fear and anxiety about certain things, food, weight, money, then we're just going off every which way and, trying to like fix things or whatever. So anyway, I gave myself a month of just trusting. I was like, I'm going to just let go of any anxiety that comes up around this topic about money. And I am going to just allow the anxiety and say, like, I'm a woman of faith and I'm taken care of. What? I did that every day, and it was scary, but I gave myself just a month to try it. And things were freaking me out in my accounts and payrolls and all these things. And it all worked out. It all worked out. And then the next month, it all worked out. I was also telling my client today that my 92-year-old grandmother, when I asked her, if you could look back at your life now, like, what's one piece of wisdom you would have given yourself? And she was like, I would have given myself the wisdom of not worrying half as much, or like at all. It's like, I shouldn't have worried about anything at all. Like, at the end of your life, like, imagine if you could master not worrying about anything at all now. What? It's like, what if like nothing is to fear? You just have to like be honest with yourself and listen and like be with your emotions and not numb them out and not run from them and look at yourself and get better every day. Like, that's literally like, you're good. Okay, so yes. So all of that, right, leads to the New Year's resolutions, but it also leads to your ultimate health, right? Like actually like making sure or like having your be in optimal health, which is like health is wealth, health is everything. um, and just your highest energy. And then that recycles back because then when you're healthiest and you're at your highest energy, then you have more positive thoughts, right? And then you create more results in your life, more gifts are given to you, and it's all done. And that's why positive thinking should be is the only New Year's resolution that matters. I think every single year I'm going to continue making that the thing. People don't realize how stuck that their brains are in going into the negative and going into the what's not working well or what's missing. There's so much amazing. But you have to be willing to do the work. You have to ask for help. Got to make changes when necessary. You got to feel some hard feelings, right? So that's the other side, is like it does take something to create that now. And I will say that it's very worth it and getting better all the time. And if you are ready to make this New Year's better than, or New Year, I should say, better than any of the others because of your commitment to be a positive thinker in relationship to food, body, and weight, so that you don't need to freak out about weight loss ever again, which really opens us up to this entire gateway into all the stuff I'm talking about now. Like how this really is necessary in every aspect of your life to make you the healthiest and happiest and most successful, most abundant human being you could ever possibly be. I love you guys so much. Here's to the most amazing 2023. It's going to be an awesome ride. I can feel it. I'm very excited. So thank you all for listening. Thank you to all my podcast listeners. I really appreciate your listening, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye. If you are serious about taking action on your struggle with food, body, and weight, then this is for you. Go ahead and text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483. Immediately after texting that number, you will get access to our free training that will tell you why you can't figure the food, body, and weight thing out, why you can't keep weight off even after you've been successful in the past, and how to actually overcome it, including a mini hypnosis session at the end. Don't miss out. Text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483.